Yo guys, good morning. Welcome to today's video. This is 7:06 on 13th of August. Thursday, 13th of August. So 2026. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at. Euro USD. That is into this particular breaker block, and it's trying to like continue moving to the downside. So went down to my 1 hour time frame, and what is this? Okay, swept here. Yeah, I swept that high, so I'll be waiting for a break of this low and possibly this low self with inducement for continuation to the downside. So confirmation of a market structure shift to the downside. GU similarly, I have not really confirmed any of this, but that's what I'm looking for. All of them. Gold, the same thing. Gold traded into this daily time frame order block, and it's trying to give us a market structure shift. So if this candle close like this, that means it has given us a market structure shift. Then we'll now be waiting for inducement to enter the trade. So that's what I'm waiting for on gold. So if this candle close like this, I would really love to see like a pullback, something like this, so we can enter from this other block. That's what I'm expecting on gold. And silver too. Silver is to take out this low, take out this low and give us an inducement for a sell continuation to the downside. BTC has been bearish. We had a break of structure and it formed this inducement, so I'm waiting for it to like come back to this breaker block. I'm not going to take it direct. I'll wait for confirmation entry. That is this thing I drew here. So I will not take BTC direct. I'll wait for confirmation entry. Ethereum, the same thing. I'm waiting for Ethereum. I'm considering whether Ethereum will do something like this, come up, maybe just sweep this high and then drop, and breaking the low will now cause a market structure shift for a downtrend. So this guy is still going up, though I've closed my position, but I still have my eyes on it because the overall let me see, the overall TP is supposed to be this high, so possibly, and but we are going to start from taking this high first. So I'll possibly look for opportunity for another buy till that high is taken. So that is it for now. Euro AUD has traded into the breaker block that we're looking at, so I'm waiting for confirmation entry for a buy. Similarly to this guy took me out yesterday. After market structure shift inducement, I entered through this other block, breaker block rather, which triggered though. It triggered and moved up to this point and still came back and tapped me out. So if I say confirmation, I might join the sell again. Euro card has traded into our 4 hours breaker order block, so I'm expecting like, you know, a market structure shift inducement to buy. Similarly to GBP AUD, expecting a market structure shift for a buy. SZDCHF has gave market structure shift, so I'm waiting for an inducement. I want it to build an inducement and tap into a breaker block. Then I'll go down to my 1 hour and look for entry confirmation for a sell. Another one I'm looking at is Euro NZD. Euro NZD has given us a multiple break of structure, so I want to see confirmation entry for a buy So if this candle, after pulling back, if this candle break above this high, after pulling back above this high, then I might consider entering from the breaker here. But if the pullback gets up to like this breaker, just like I drew here, then I'll consider entering from this very breaker for a buy. Similarly to GBP/NZD, we had the multiple break of structure. This high was broken, this high was broken, this high was broken. So the inducement will determine where we are going to buy from. So I'll just wait for it to form an inducement. The next one is USD CAD. If you check your weekly time frame, you notice that we had a break of structure here, and we had an inducement which market pulled back to this particular breaker block. This is the inducement to the breaker block. This is the break of structure. So market traded into it, and in 1 hour I found a market structure shift and an inducement, even though it has not triggered. This is the market structure shift. This is the inducement. Let me remove this alert. This is the inducement. Here is the inducement, so which is yet to trigger. So I enter through the breaker block, my stop loss below here, and I'm targeting this high. Generally I'm targeting this high, like this trend line liquidity kind of. So I'm targeting the high 1 to 15. But if you check your daily time frame, you notice that this high is supposed to go. This is supposed to be the general break of TP. So, but I'm not going to hold like up to that place. So holding up to that place to give over more than 30, over 34. So, but that's not what I want to do. I just drew the nearest drawn liquidity, which is this trend line liquidity that I can see here, and place my TP there. So let's see how it goes, and I believe it's going to trigger. So I think that's all I'm looking for now. Unless I start seeing like maybe a break of this high, then I'm not considering continuation entry. But this is what I'm looking at. I've entered the trade, so I'm hoping to use that particular trade to pass my by the way, I closed my stops in profits yesterday. I thought I've traded for 3 days. Well, it's happened that I've only traded for 2 days, so the profit we have currently is $530. That's what we have at the moment. So I just need to make 25%, $25, which is like 0.5% of my account, for me to be eligible for withdrawal. So that's what I'm looking at and aiming to make from here. Then I still enter this trade in my challenge account and aiming to take out this high. Okay, we have another multiple breakup structure that happened in AUD and ZD, so which I'm going to capitalize on. So if this particular candle forming now, if it's finally closed above, this high after 1 minute, after the next 1 hour, then I am going to take a buy. I'm going to take a buy from I'm going to ignore this breaker block though, because it's not really that visible, but I will ignore it and take a buy from here. It is more obvious in 2 hours. So this is where I got my breaker block from. So if that happens, I'm going to take a buy from there to take out this high. I know it's going to go deeper. If I enter this in my challenge account, I'm going to make it up to like 5 RR, but because I'm looking for just maybe 1 is for 1, I'm not looking for much. I'll target this in my trading account, in my funded account, AUD card. I reanalyzed this market and found out that it is actually bearish. Now let me show you. Knowing where the market is going is more than important, honestly speaking. Now let me show you how I discovered this. Was it in daily time frame? Okay, yes, it was in daily time frame. Now look at, remember, this market could not break this high, this one could not break this high, and we had a break of structure. This is an inducement had already mitigated the breaker block, and market tapped into the other block and it's coming down. So as every tendency, the market is going to take this low. Now if you go down to your 1 hour time frame and look for entry, here is the place we had our first market structure shift here. We had market structure shift here, which is this candle. After that, market pushed up. So this is an inducement actually, and the other block should have been the entry, but market did not come back to there. So waiting for confirmation and for continuation entry. I haven't seen. Okay, this inducement is market tapped, and so there is no clear entry for now. Similarly to this guy, NZD card, I also noticed it's bearish, and I saw that one in 4 hours. And look at it here. We had a market structure shift that happened here. We had an inducement, we had a breaker block. So was that breaker block that the market respected, and market is reacting from just that breaker, as you can see. So we had our first, let me go down to 1 hour. We had our first market structure shift at this very point. Then we have inducement. So all this might trigger in the future, just like it did now. I know all these things happened so many months ago. So this market might still come back and trigger this particular other block in the future. So, but for now, I think it might come down to like take this low before, maybe in the future it will definitely come back here, just like the way it did here. It later came back here after all this movement. This thing happened when? This thing happened around that kind July 2025, which is over a year. So after like 1 year later, market still came back and tapped into that breaker block he created a year ago. So definitely in the future, market will still come back to tap the other block and drop. So I'm just waiting for, okay, where is our potential take profit? Where is our potential take profit? Let me see. Can I say this as trend line liquidity or this as trend line liquidity? Either of them. So, but let's say the low, let's just mark that low for instance. So where can we find an entry now? We are looking for entry. So, but we have a break of structure here. They also break this low, but there is no inducement yet. So we are waiting for a pullback. I would want to see a pullback, maybe something like this. Then we can enter from this breaker block. So that's what I'm looking at today, and let's see how it goes. Currently on this very trade, I have entered it, but it has not triggered yet. So gold is giving us market structure shift. Gold is giving us market structure shifts. So let's see how it goes on, you know. So do well to like, share, comment. Let's connect, bro. So I need to make that profit so that I will withdraw my money. I think that's going to be the highest I'll withdraw from this forex. Over from Propfirm, about $500 from $5,000 account. I think that's going to be the highest I've withdrawn so far. What my withdrawal has been between 300 and co. So I'll really be excited if this happens. So do well to subscribe and share, comment. Thank you. Please follow me. Please. I'm begging you in the name of God.